Good evening, Summit Heights. Jake Connor here, flying solo this evening. Edward is he's gone. He'll be back for Sunday, but we had a dear friend pass away earlier this week, and Edward went to do the funeral and be with the family. Many of you that have been around Summit Heights for a while know or knew Bobby Morford, a very good friend of ours in the ministry. When I was a youth pastor, Bobby would come and help us out with our Disciple Nows, and he would bring mission teams in to help with Kid Venture Live. And he was a dear friend of Summit Heights. And so be praying for his wife, Janet, and his two girls and grandkids that he leaves behind. And be praying for Edward. Doing the service today with the COVID-19. They're having to pre-tape the service and just kind of work around that whole deal. But I wanted to come to you today. Edward asked me to do the update video. Wanted to come and just give you guys an update on where we are as we near the end of the month of April. I know many of you are looking forward to the day where we can gather together again. So am I, so is Edward, so are the entire staff. And so we're just waiting, we're listening. Elders will meet again next week, but right now we're just waiting on how the governor's going to be kind of phasing in this reopening. And so just be patient with us. Continue to watch us online, our three platforms, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and then you can catch us on summitheightsfellowship.com on the live church stream there as well. And so want to encourage you to invite as many people as you can to watch those online services. We're getting those condensed down to a little bit less than an hour, and so we got a lot of traction from last week, and it was good. We love being able to take communion. Hopefully you guys are gathering in your homes and taking communion with us each and every Sunday. We're going to start doing that just like we did last week after the second song. And so usually I'll come up and we'll put up the link for offering, and then I'll do some quick announcements, and then we'll go straight into communion. And so we enjoy celebrating that with you. Wanted to make sure that you guys are getting the weekly emails that Paula is sending out with our bulletin. Everything that you need to know about comes out in that email. And so if you're not getting those emails, we want you to try to do a couple things. Number one, check your spam. Go to your spam or your whatever your spam looks like on your email address and look for it there, and then you can unspam it so you'll be able to get those. Also, if it's not there, then go to our website, go to the live stream, click on that, and then you'll see a link for a contact card. Fill that out, put a valid email address in there so it gets in our system, and then you can start receiving those emails. Those emails are important because it gives you weekly giving updates. It gives you updates for student ministry. They're meeting on Zoom Wednesday nights at 6 o'clock. Gives you updates. Kid Venture, they're meeting on Zoom at 2 p.m. every Sunday. Gives you updates for preschool. Gives you links for content for your preschool kids and your Kid Venture kids. Also gives you a link if you're a parent and you just want to hang out with some adults and you just want to talk about the struggles of quarantine and maybe what God's been teaching you. Then Ashley and Kristen, they do a Zoom every Friday night at 9 p.m. That link is in that email as well. It's also on the Kid Venture Facebook page, so make sure you're checking that out. Also wanted to update you on food. We're still handing out food boxes. So on our website, under the ministries, under the Loved One, there's a list of food you can donate. Handed out a lot of food boxes this last week. I am in the office on Tuesdays, and then I unlock the doors starting at 1 o'clock, and from 1 to 3, I do nothing but hand out food boxes. And so if you know someone that's in need of food, they can come up there from 1 to 3. If you need to arrange a time, you can email me, jake@summitheightsfellowship.com, and I'd love to be able to get the food box to you. Prayer requests, go to info@summitheightsfellowship.com. And so if you've got a prayer request or something we need to know about as a staff, please turn in your prayer request that way. So this Sunday, 11 o'clock, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, on our website. Cannot wait to worship with you. Hopefully we're not too far away from being able to worship in person, but until then, everything streams at 11 o'clock on those 3 platforms. I want to leave you with this, because if you're like me, it's getting antsy, and I went and I got gas yesterday, and I was at the gas pump, and there was a gentleman on the other side of the gas pump, and he just out of the blue made a comment about gas prices, which led me to make a comment about, man, it's good to get outside and get gas. I'm just glad to be outside, glad to be out of the house. It led him to make a comment about how he was glad to get out of the house. Next thing I know, we're having a conversation, and after the gas stopped, we kept talking. And it just reminded me of something. This was a total stranger, somebody I had never met before. How much we long for connection. We were created to be in relationship. We were created to be in relationship with God, and we were created to be in relationship with other people as well. And how good that felt to have a conversation with somebody. And so it got me to thinking, there are probably people in your circle of influence that are just dying to have a conversation with somebody. And while they may not be able to get out of their house, they may be quarantined, they may not want to risk seeing you in person, I'm wondering what a phone call would do for somebody in your life that you've not talked to in a while. Maybe somebody in our church, maybe somebody in your family, I don't know. But what would it look like for you to pray and to ask the Lord to lay somebody on your heart and pick up the phone and reach out to them either this evening or tomorrow and just let them know that you're thinking about them? I have a funny feeling it would probably mean a lot to them. And I also have a funny feeling that it would probably do you some good as well. Maybe you're already doing that, and that's great. But I just found it interesting that 2 total strangers that had gotten out of the house just for a tank of gas spent 10 minutes talking, and just how good that made me feel. And so I don't know when we're going to be able to meet again in person. Hopefully it's soon. But until then, let's keep reaching out to people. Let's keep reaching out to people. Let's keep engaging online through virtual, whether that be Zoom, whether that be FaceTime if you have an iPhone, or whatever, or just pick up the phone and call somebody. Summit, I cannot wait to see you again. Again, be praying for Edward today. He'll be traveling back Saturday, and I know he's looking forward to what God has laid on his heart to share with you this week. Until then, love you, bless you, and have a great rest of your week.